Salakia about that. Salakia. I'll just wait a couple minutes or whatever for the before you get back onto the other live. I pressed end by mistake on a previous one, but let me see. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. But yeah, so let me just continue. Let me continue with this. So it says, Chin is one of many parents and caregivers using tracking devices to keep tabs on children old enough to wander away, but too young for a phone. It's an off-label use for the inexpensive $29 Apple gadget, which are meant to find things like keys wedged in a sofa or a purse left behind in a coffee shop. They work by pinging any nearby Apple devices that can upload the recent location to the internet. So, this is a new trend that is happening, within society. Parents are putting Apple tags on their children. All right. It says adults are putting trackers in backpacks, on bikes, or directly on kids for extra accuracy. See that? So, like I said, this is a growing trend that you see that's going on with parents with their children. They're tracking them by using, tracking devices like an Apple tag, right, which has a GPS, locator technology in it. It says online companies sell hundreds of colorful trackers holders for children, including wristbands, keychains, lanyards, and pins. Some caregivers sew them into jackets or tie them to shoes to protect them from their chaotic hosts. So as you see what's going on, as of right now, presently, with these wearable devices, right? Because remember, the WEF with Klaus Schwab said that right now you have wearable, devices, but eventually, and that eventually is happening speedily, is going to become something that is embedded. Okay, it's going to go from a wearable device to embedded. And with society now, and how wicked this place is getting, children going missing, right? Children being kidnapped, or just how society is just becoming more and more dangerous, right? These people, majority of people, they're going to be willing to put a embedded MOTB or embedded CHIP into their children, because they're going to look at it as a safety precaution, right? So if they're already doing it with air tags, then especially when it becomes mandated, right? When it becomes mandated for buying and selling, the added convenience is going to be, well, if you put it in your children, then you'll be able to instantly know where they're at. Because in this article, which I'm not going to read the whole thing, it's going to tell you how the air tags, it has a lagging effect. It's not in real time. So it says, when Apple released AirTags in 2021, the company clearly, so that was only 2 years ago, stated that they were not to be used for children or pets, only inanimate objects. The small print isn't stopping people. In addition to children, caretakers are using them for people with dementia or Alzheimer's, and pet owners are putting them in costume cats or dog collars. Right. And people, are already chipping their dogs. Right. So if they're already doing that for, safety reasons, how much more, and especially when it becomes more and more, and as it becomes more and more commonplace for, embedded microchips, right? How much more are you going to see people doing this? It says families use other trackers not meant for kids as well, like Tal and Chipolo. There's a growing market for GPS devices designed for children. You see that? There's a growing market, like the Geobit tracker and Gizmo watch, which are more expensive but have direct cellular connection for better accuracy. Eventually, families move on to smartwatches and smartphones, which once again, that is going to move eventually to the no longer being embedded. I mean, no longer being wearable, but embedded. However it's done, tracking kids is a sensitive topic, a sensitive subject. It is a surveillance culture gone overboard, a smart hack for managing a business family, so like a busy family, or a way to claw back some of the freedom previous generations had that's missing. See? And it's funny because I was talking to a coworker like a couple of months ago, and he's an older gentleman, and he was saying how back when he was younger, he grew up in Staten Island, how he would go to New York. He would take the train or the ferry. I think he said he would take the ferry to New York to go to a baseball game, and take the subway and do it all by himself when he was like 12, 13 years old. You see? And a lot of people, I mean, even myself growing up, I remember being able to be outside, at a young age, 9, 10 years old, and ride my bike, throughout the neighborhood, going across town. And it was nothing, it wasn't like as it is now, such a dangerous or taboo thing for children to, be outside, right? You don't even see children really outside playing like that. And like I said, that's because this world is becoming just more and more demonic and wicked, right? You got a lot of just straight demons out here. So you don't even really want to have your children just out here by themselves, right? Let's skip around because like I said, I just don't want to read the whole thing. So it says, many adults trying AirTags first say that they are most worried about access to social media, online bullying, and everything else that comes from a real phone. AirTags offer them a low-tech way to put off the inevitable. See that? So they have the children wearing wristbands, and in this, it's all with the hand motion, right? As John the Revelator saw, okay, in the hand, and in the last live, the one I just ended by mistake, that brother had put, just like the Black Mirror episode, which is 100% correct. All right, that episode, I remember seeing that episode came out. I think that was in season. I think it's season 5 right now, season 6. I know it was the last, not the latest season, but the season before that, where they had the little girl had a small microchip, implanted behind her ear. Okay, so, and we always say that those Black Mirror episodes, that's just Esau doing his predictive programming. All right, because a lot of things that happen in those Black Mirror episodes, you actually see them playing out in real time. All right, for instance, just with the last one, damn, it just escaped me. The actors face, or their persons, right? Their face, I guess you could say, being used for AI purposes. And in one of the last episodes in Black Mirror, you had Salma Hayek. She basically was being used by Netflix in I don't know if it's called Netflix in that episode, but she was basically being used by a streaming service. Her face was basically being used for content, right? To make TV shows. And she was like, how are you going to use me and it's not really me. And she was like, oh, you can't. And she went to a lawyer and was like, oh, you can't really sue because you gave them, you basically signed that agreement for them to be able to do this. And then now all of a sudden, what you see going on over in Hollywood is this whole strike is happening because these production, these productions companies, they're basically saying that they could use CGI and AI mimicking actors' faces, right? So they don't actually even need the real actor anymore to do things. They can make AI do it and just put a Will Smith's face on it, like how in that movie Gemini. All right, and they also did it in the movie. I didn't see the movie, the Indiana Jones one, where they had the guy Harrison Ford. They used AI to make him younger. Okay, so I want to get to a particular point with this one. Let me see. So it says it wasn't always this way. Ask any Gen X or Boomer about their childhood, and you'll likely hear stories about wandering outside until the sunlight ran out. They also had something that's gone nearly extinct: payphones everywhere and a pocket full of coins to call home. My parents wanted me to be home by dinner time or when it got dark. They were like, here's a watch and a bike as long as your homework is done, said Tara Mandola, a journalist raising 3 children in Philadelphia. For people like Mandola, low-tech tracking options aren't necessarily a tool to monitor children. They're also a practical way to see where everyone is when they'll be home. And they're a way to afford children some of the same freedom their parents had as kids before a walk alone outside was so fraught. You see? So like I said, if people are already accustomed and comfortable with this, tracking your children via the technology of an AirTag, how much more do you think it's going to be when this MOTB really starts to play a major part in society? Okay. And like I said, remember, they got to have a reason for this, right? They're going to have a reason for why they are going to go from wearables to embedded. And this is it. Let me find this paragraph. And that reason is, boom. So let me read this one. Where is it at? All right, so let me see. Yep, right here. It says, tapping the next generation of tech buyers, Apple is not against using technology to track children. The company openly markets its Apple Watch as a wearable GPS and communication device for kids not ready for a smartphone. There are some key differences between devices. An AirTag costs $29, and the cheapest new Apple Watch with cellular and GPS starts at $299. Unlike smartwatches that needs to be charged almost daily, an AirTag has a replaceable battery that should last a year. So a lot of people can't afford, right, smartwatches, which is more accurate, okay, because it has its own cellular and GPS. As opposed to the Apple Watch, it pings off of Apple devices that are nearby. So when it says here, however, AirTags, so that's what we call it. I said Apple tags, but AirTags locations are less accurate and can have a larger delay when showing the most recent known location, making them riskier to use in time-sensitive situations. You see that? So now they're giving you the con. They're telling you why this technology may not be the best, tool to track your kids. because it's not as accurate and it has a larger delay, making it riskier to use in time-sensitive situations. The devices don't have their own cellular connection and instead tap the surrounding network of other Apple devices that can access the internet to pass on updates. If a child is in a rural area or anywhere far from other iPhone or iPad users, the AirTag might not be able to send out its location at all. Apple declined to comment on people using AirTag for kids. Right? So you see, they are saying that an AirTag, it could be useful, but it also has its drawbacks. It also has its problems. It also has its risks. So this is, once again, a stepping stone to, if people are already accustomed and comfortable with using technology to track their kids, then when that MOT, hits mainstream, right, on a full effect, people are going to go right for it. Right? It's going to be something that is going to, for safety reasons. They got this MOTB, that Karagma. They have so many different reasons of convenience and uses that people are going to eat up, that a lot of people are going to just willingly just take it. Now, we always speak about the financial aspect of it, but you got the aspect of being able to, people that can't move their limbs, right? If you put it in your forehead, and you'll be able to move your limbs again, right? People who are paralyzed completely, right? They'll be able to just think, or people that can't talk, they'll be able to just think, and the brain chip will be able to speak their words, through some type of machine. So all of these miracles, as the scripture says, that with the miracles, the beast was able to deceive the people, all right, deceive the world. And a lot of people are going to be deceived because of this technology. That's what it is. It's this technology that our people are going to be deceived, trusting in, and they're going to fall right for it, not realizing that that's going to be to their complete demise. All right. Let's see. That was pretty much it on that. It's feeling baby tracking, fall alerts, blah, blah, blah. All right. So yeah, that was pretty much it on that one. This was another article. This is another article. It says from the Jerusalem Post, UFOs once took control of Russia's ICBMs, nearly caused World War III testimony. So now all of a sudden in the news, you got, mainstream media now just coming out with all of this information. You got the Congress, right? The U.S. government coming out with all this information concerning so-called UFOs, right? Which we understand and know that the U.S. so-called UFOs are the chariots of the Most High, right? They are the vehicles that the angels operate in, right? But because they're becoming more and more prevalent, right, showing themselves more and more, and Esau ultimately knowing that it's going that time of that great war, because these top elites, they understand what's about to what these UFOs are, who are operating these UFOs, not no little green men with big eyes and big heads. Okay, they know that is the angels, right? Which the angels, as the angel told John the Revelator, and they are fellow servants and brethren. You see, so who are the angels? The fellow servants. If they're our fellow servants, right? Fellow servants of who? They are serving the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They are under the control, under the command of YAHAWASHI. YAHAWASHI is who? The Lion of the tribe of Judah, the King of Israel, right? Which ultimately is coming to set his kingdom on the earth to take out Esau, Edom. So by default, that makes these UFOs and the ones who are operating these UFOs, which are the angels, the thousands of thousands, 10,000 times 10,000s of angels, right? That makes them enemies to Esau and his whole hegemony. So this is why they're pushing this national security issue, right? Which it is. The angels are, the chariots are national. It's not even just a national security. It's an international security issue for all of these heathens. Okay. But my belief, right, and I just speak as a man, but my belief is that they're continuously speaking about these, the chariots or the UFOs, because they're going to try to stage a false invasion. All right. Are they going to try to say that some catastrophic event happened because of so-called UFOs or aliens, and then have the masses of the people think that these aliens or so-called UFOs are dangerous, evil, right, entities. Which the word evil means bad times, right? And the angels, they are going to be bringing bad times to this world, to you devils, to this wicked, to the wicked. But the angels are not. You do have evil angels, left-handed angels. Hey, even the evil angels, they serve a purpose, right? But the chariots, the armies of heaven that Yahawashi is coming with, they're coming for our redemption. They're coming for our salvation. They're coming to set up with Yahawashi the kingdom of Israel on earth. And in order to do that, who got to go? Who got to be taken out the way? Right? Let me get a scripture. Right? In order for Yahawashi and the angels to come and set up the kingdom, right, and to deliver us, somebody has to go down. Why else would the scriptures refer to the army, all right, or refer to the angels that followed Yahawashi as the armies of heaven? Revelation 19 verse 14. It says, the armies which were in heaven followed him upon, the him being Yahawashi, upon white horses, the white horses representing the pure power, right, which are the chariots, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. Out of his mouth is speaking about the chariot, right? The opening, right, of the chariot, where those laser beams, that fire, brimstone, that heavenly fire, can't even call it just regular fire. That's that heavenly fire, all right, that those chariots are going to be, blasting the armies of this world with. So that's why it says out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, because that fire is going to devour, just like how Moses' staff, which turned into a snake, devoured Pharaoh's magi's and Pharaoh's magi's serpents, right? He swallowed them up. That's exactly what the angels and the chariots are going to do to Esau in his military, all right, in his chariots, which are, these fighter jets. They're going to completely devour them, completely destroy them, to the point where all of these, supersonic jets and B-2 bombers and F-16s, they're going to look like toys compared to the technology and the fierceness and the power that Yahawashi and the angels are coming with. All right. And then you even have certain pilots, right, whistleblowers of the U.S. intelligence agencies saying how these so-called UFOs technology are 1,000 years ahead. And they just threw that number out. Right. You can't even put a number on it, but are, exponentially ahead technologically. OK, so out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty God. Okay, so Yahawashi and the armies of heaven, right, are coming in the fierceness and wrath, all right, of the Most High, right? They're coming to appease the wrath of Yahweh, and they're gonna do that job thoroughly. But going to this scripture right here in Revelation 12 verse 7, right? It says, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. All right. Yeah, he got him. He got him up out of there. Okay. You see, Michael and his angels got Esau, right, and his messengers and his fighters, and his militaries, all right, and even the militaries of these other nations. He got them up out of there, man. They completely wiped them out. That's why it says, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. All right, because they even show you that in those old movies. Once you show you if there's a gunfight, or a, what do you want to call it, a jets fighting each other in the air, right? You have one nation's fighter jets fighting against another nation's fighter jets, and then once whoever sides wins, and they knock down the last fighter jet, all right, or the other fighter jets end up fleeing because they're losing, what ends up happening? The rest of the victors, they basically take over the skies. They may fly around and basically do a celebratory victory type of flight, right? And, I can think of, I forget what the name of the movie was, but I remember seeing, I want to say, I can't remember what movie it was, but that's basically what happens. After you win a fight, you celebrate. And that's why it says, and neither was their place found any more in heaven, because the Lord he's not going to leave. First, it's twofold. He's not going to leave any fighter jets of these heathens still capable of flying, right? It's still capable of fighting. Nah, the Lord going to destroy all of them. And then also on top of that, mainly their place is not found more in heaven, meaning what? Their place as being, on top, as being the hegemony of the earth. They're not going to be the top nation anymore. The top nation after this fight, after this war in the skies through the so-called UFOs, the chariots of the Most High, and these other various nations, the dragon and the various nations. After that is done, that's the kingdom of Israel is now basically established, right? You're not going to have any other nations still with a military and being able to fight or try to regroup and do a counterattack on Yahawashi and the angels, all right, and us, right? Because the Lord going to turn us also into hunters. But going back to this article, Salakia for the rant, it says, did aliens nearly cause the earth to be consumed by World War III after antagonizing Russian missile bases in Ukraine? Did Russian fighter pilots die fighting UFOs? Russian fighter jets once fired at possible extraterrestrial life forms after a pair of UFOs nearly caused World War III to break out, according to a sworn testimony shared to Congress and obtained by Fox News. The testimony was given by George Knapp, an award-winning Las Vegas-based journalist who has repeatedly reported on UFOs, now known as UAPs, and the alleged conspiracy surrounding them. According to Knapp, there was a time when the Russian military actually deployed fighter jets to fire on UFOs following an incident that nearly pushed the world into a globe-spanning nuclear war. See? So they're trying to paint this picture that the UFOs almost started World War III. It says, how did UFOs clash with Russian fighter pilots taking over ICBM base? In the testimony, Knapp said that the Russians had carried out what may have been the largest ever UFO investigation in history, spanning a decade and the entire breadth of the Russian military echelon. He said that he's spoken with a Russian military official, Boris Sokolov, who said that there had been no less than 45 different incidences where Russian fighter jets had clashed with UFOs. The Russian jets crashing in 3 of these incidences, resulting in the deaths of 2 pilots in clashes with UFOs. One incident that raised alarm bells, though, was the Russian ICBM base in Ukraine. According to Sokolov, the UFO somehow took control of the launch system. Hey, and you know, the Lord can easily have the angels do that just to fuck with them. All right, just to show them how incapable, with all their technology, with all their pompness, how incapable they are in comparison to the power and might of YAHAWASHI. You see, when the Lord called this devil the bases of man, he was not, he wasn't lying. All right, he just gave him this technology, just like how he raised up Pharaoh, right, to the point where Pharaoh thought he was unstoppable. Remember, Pharaoh got to the point, because the Lord raised him up, where he spoke and said that let's get that. Exodus chapter 5, verse 1. And afterwards, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus saith Yahweh, power of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is Yahweh, that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not Yahweh, neither will I let Israel go. You see that? So the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. He put him in this position. He gave him this mind to be pumped, to be proud, only to just do what? To show his power, right? Exodus chapter 9, verse where is it at? Exodus 9 verse 14, it says, and for I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart and upon thy servants and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. For now will I stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. And in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name might be declared throughout all. You see that? It says, but I have spared you for a purpose, to show you my power and to spread my fame throughout the earth. Okay, that's exactly why the Lord allowed Esau to get to this heightened level that he's in right now. All right. See, Esau, he's done so much wickedness, right? He's done so much boasting against the Lord, right? To the point where now he thinks that he's the Most High. He thinks that he's God, right? He thinks that he challenges the authority of the Creator. That's how much the Lord allowed Esau to be spared from all of the treachery and wickedness that he does. But that does not exempt, all right? that the Lord didn't do that to exempt Esau. He did that so that Esau can, throughout time, get this technology, continue his wickedness, get all of this power, all of this might, right? All of these resources, so that the Lord can just do what? Show the world by using Esau as his vessel of wrath, fitted to destruction, to show the world how powerful he is. Okay? How great, how mighty, all right, the power of Yahawah Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI is. And we, the hopeful elect, are his witnesses for this, because we're the ones that are proclaiming the power and might of the Lord. Lord willing, we are the vessels of mercy. We're the ones that are speaking how powerful the Lord is, and in using the examples from old, right? The things written of old, the things written aforetimes, written for our learning, using those examples to say the same reason that Pharaoh was raised up is the same reason why you devils are in your position that you're in right now. Okay, that's it. You are used for a purpose. But once again, because the Lord is long suffering, Esau has gotten to this mind that he thinks that, oh, the Lord, he ain't gonna do nothing. I could do whatever I want, right? But let's get this in Psalms 50, verse 21. These things has thou done, and I kept silence. This is the Most High speaking, right? So Esau did all of this wickedness, right? He destroyed the Lord's people, touched the apple of the Most High's eye. And when you go into the word apple, it goes into the word pupil. So imagine somebody just poking your eyeball, or your pupil of your eyeball. How irritating, how frustrating, how annoying, how uneasy, right? That would make you. Somebody just keep poking at it. And that's what the Lord said that we are likened unto for how Israel is to him. That's why he said, he that toucheth you. Let me get that real quick. Apple eye. Yep. Zechariah chapter 7 verse Zechariah chapter 2 verse 8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you touches the apple of my eye. Okay. Let's go into the NLT. Let's see what it says. There you go. Apple, as you see, it says pupil of the eye. So it says, after a period of glory, the Lord of heaven's army sent me against the nations who plundered you. For he said, anyone who harms you harms my most precious possession, or the apple of his eye. So these are the things. That's why it says here, thou givest thy mouth to evil, thy tongue to frameth deceit, thy sitteth and speaketh against thy brother. Right? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Thy slandereth thy own mother's son, right? Calling us goyim, right? Calling us cursed. I mean, we are cursed, but we're not cursed from the earth. All right, that's Esau. Okay, calling us black. All right, saying that we are no nation. All right, saying that we have no right, no land, nothing, no glory, no anything. Right? We're just the reproach and just the ain't shit nation. Oh, out of all nations of the earth, all right, you so-called black and Latinos, y'all are just the most ain't shit ones out of everybody. No, you devils are the most ancient ones. Okay? The accuser of our brethren. So it says, these things have I done, and I kept silence. Though that says, thou thoughtest that I was altogether such and one as thyself. Right? It says, while you did all this, I remained silent, and you thought I didn't care. But now will I rebuke you, listing all my charges against you. Woo! See? Hey, and this is why these devils right now, they're trying to Trump with his Space Force, right? They got all of their telescopes, their space stations, trying to watch out for what's in the heavens, because they know that, and especially because the prophets are out, right? And they hear us time and time again telling them that YAHAWASHI is about to return, okay? And he's coming for blood. All right, he's coming to take out you, all of you heathens, man. Starting with Esau, Edom, and I mean take out. I mean take you out of authority, because not all of the heathens are going to be destroyed, but hey, the armies of these other nations, they're going to be no more. And when you don't have an army, you can't fight, right? And we are a perfect example of that. The Israelites, we don't have an army right now. Our army is in heaven. We don't have our own defense system. All right, our defense is in the name of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. So when the Lord comes, as the scripture tells you, that he will hold his tongue, no more is touching their wickedness. Also is written in was that Luke 18:8, where it says shall he avenge his elect that cry unto him night and day? All right. Luke 18 verse 8. It's start at 7. It says, and shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? See, so the Lord is going to avenge us speedily. And he's going to do that by way of what? By way of making war. And righteousness doeth he judge and make war. Another script. What is this? Yep. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 6. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. All right. And that the way that the Lord is going to recompense that tribulation is by taking out, all right, ending Esau's world, ending his age, taking him out of authority, taking him out of heaven, right? Going to war, waging war against them. And that's what John the Revelator saw. The angels, the armies of heaven fighting against the dragon and his angels. It says, and to you who are troubled, rest with us when the Lord Yahawashi shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels, and a flaming fire taking vengeance on them that know not God and that obey not the gospel of Yahawashi our Lord. All right. So this is who he's taking vengeance on. That's why he said in Isaiah 47, what? I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. Because he's coming with that heavenly body, with those heavenly celestial hosts to wreak havoc, man. The end of this present age. So let's keep reading a little bit. I think it's oh no, there's more. It says in the testimony, Knapp said that the Russians had carried out, I read that part. It says one incident that raised alarm bells, though, was a Russian ICBM missile base somehow to control the launch system. Okay, I read that. UFOs appeared over the base, performed astonishing maneuvers, and in front of stunned eyewitnesses, they then somehow took control of the launch system. The missiles were aimed at the U.S. and were suddenly fired up. Launch control codes were somehow entered, and the base was unable to stop what could have initiated World War III. Then, just as suddenly, the UFOs disappeared, and the launch control system shut down. Now, this is from, once again, the Jerusalem Post, right? So if they're coming out and with this information, this obviously is something that mainstream, now if they're talking about it in mainstream media, This is obviously something that they are trying to prepare the world for. Okay. And like I said before, don't be surprised if they try to stage some type of UFO invasion. Okay. Where they can blame, some fake, right, Project Blue Beam incident and say, oh, we were just attacked by aliens, and they may be back. We got to shut everything down. We got to go into martial law mode, whatever. All right. Or they may try to say that it was some spiritual entities, and they may say that, oh, Jesus came. That's why YAHAWASHI told us that when he returns, don't listen to somebody say, oh, he was over there or he's over there. Right? He said what? That as lightning, it starts in the in the west, east, and can be seen in the west, and I'm just roughly paraphrasing, so shall the Son of Man's return be. You know what? Instead of paraphrasing, let me get it. Let me pull it up. Matthew 24, verse 26. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. All right. So the Lord is giving us this understanding that nobody's going to miss his return. Nobody's going to have to be told, oh, YAHAWASHI, the Son of God just returned. Oh, yeah. Well, when did that take place? No. This is going to be a worldwide event all at once. All right. Because this is a global takeover, a shift in mindsets, a shift in rulership. Okay. And a revenge and a coronation, because the world is going to see and understand who is the actual King of Kings and Lord of Lords. All right. So don't be, we see this information that these devils be, saying in videos talking about alien crash. You had that Congress meeting that happened a couple weeks ago where they say that they have so-called UFO vehicles and extraterrestrial bodies, in some secret chamber or whatever. No. That's just Esau doing his deception, but ultimately it's for a bigger deception that he's trying to put together. Okay, we have to understand what YAHAWASHI told us, and that's what we keep in our minds. All right, the angel, all of you mean to tell me that these intergalactic or interdimensional vehicles can travel all the way from wherever they're coming from just to come to the earth and then just crash land and die here, and then y'all just end up having these bodies, right? And it's only America that got these bodies. Nobody else, no other nations is claiming that they got bodies of aliens. Hey, but that's just another indication how Esau is just through, man. He's just losing. He's losing, and this is because of this word is going out. Okay. This is one last article here, right? It says woman denied life-saving cancer treatment by Oregon hospital because she criticized the transformer flag. And then this right here is a way or proof how they're going to coerce and force people to worship the image. All right. You got to be down with what Esau is having put out as a new way of life, because if she only did was criticized a flag, and she needed she needed life-saving cancer treatment, and they told her, "Fuck you." All right, you gotta be down with the alphabet, and if you're not, then you could die. So it says a woman receiving life-saving cancer treatment at Oregon Health and Science University was told she can no longer be a patient at the clinic after she criticized a transformer flag hanging prominently at the entrance. The hospital told the woman that she had to go for re-education if she wanted to continue treatment. However, she refused. The woman provided screenshots to libs of TikTok on her exchange with the hospital. It says hospitals are becoming increasingly likely to reject patients for failing to fall in line with the far left political orthodoxy. All right. And I pulled up the tweet here, right? So this is what she said. I'm not gonna read this whole thing. She basically was voicing her dismay about the hospital branding a transformer flag. Okay, and she was saying how women are being told what they are. And it's funny because I forgot who had mentioned it, but you had this whole, women liberation, them fighting for equality, right? Them wanting to be looked at just as equal as men. But then now you got men that are trying to be looked at as just as equal as women. And now the women have a problem with that, and that's just the backwards in this, and the confusion that Esau just pushes out in this world. That's why this place is called Babylon the Great. But this is the response from the hospital. It says, this letter is to inform you that effective immediately, you are discharged from receiving medical care at the Richmond Family Medicine Clinic. This action is being taken because of ongoing disrespect and hurtful remarks about our alphabet community and staff. The provider staff at the Richmond Clinic will continue to provide you urgent health care needs until July 29th, 2023. It says, please note that you are also now dismissed from all OHSU family medicine clinics, including immediate care. See? So this is them pushing their agenda, all right, forcing people to, bow the knee to his image. All right. And a part of that image is this whole transformer and sodomite behavior. That's why the scripture says that this is spiritual Sodom in Egypt. Just like how in ancient Sodom, where the angels came and visited Lot, those men of Sodom, they were about to break down Lot's door and say, hey, bring them outside so we can know them. Basically, so that we can rape them, have sex with. These are men trying to rape the angels who came in a human man's form, and that's exactly what you see going on, in modern day Sodom, a forceful acceptance of this lewd and abominable behavior. Okay, it says hospitals in Australia are refusing to provide emergency treatment for a 16-year-old girl who urgently requires a double lung transplant due to the side effects of chemotherapy and surgery. According to the hospitals, the unjuiced 16-year-old girl would be a threat to the health of other patients and medical staff if she enters the premises. In essence, the hospitals are attempting to coerce a child into severely contraindicated medical treatment that is dangerous for her, especially due to her cancer background, and are withholding life-saving care to this child. So now, not only do they want you to be down with the sodomy, right, and the alphabet lifestyle, or you can't get treatment, right? You can't get life-saving treatment. They also want you to take that juicy jab, that dragon juice, or you won't get treatment. They won't take you as a patient. All right. So that is that wrath that this devil is coming down with. And as we get closer and closer to the end of his age, that this wrath is only going to intensify. Okay. And once that MOTB is mandated, you're going to see the full-fledged horns of this devil. If they're willing to not treat a 16-year-old girl, right, who requires, a transplant of lungs because she didn't get the dragon juice, and they say that was just a test run, what do you think they're going to do when it's time for them to, try to fill their belly with their NWO? They're going to go all the way out, man. And Jake, 2/3 of Jake, they're going to be caught up. Jacob's trouble. All right, they're going to be caught with their pants down. And that's why what we're preaching is repenting to YAHAWASHI, so he can be your refuge in the time of trouble, so that he can be your means of escaping the wrath of this devil. Okay, because if you don't have the Lord on your side, you're not going to be able to escape it. You see? What is that? 1 Thessalonians 5:7. 5:3. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3, it says, For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Okay? This is why we do these videos. This is why we're constantly warning, so that you're not in the dark. Meaning what? That you're not aware. You're not oblivious to how this, devil is moving, to the type of coercion and the type of wrath that he's about to come with. Because the thing about a serpent is you don't notice a serpent until he strikes you. All right. A serpent is very shrewd, is very cunning, crafty. And until it's too late, that's when you notice the serpent. But by the time you notice a serpent, it's already too late. A serpent knows you or sees you before you see the serpent. And that's what a majority of the people of this world, that's the case that they're in. They're in darkness, so they can't even see that they're walking into a cockatrice den. They're walking right into a bunch of poisonous serpents that is about to just light their ass up. But it says what? Ye are all children of the light and children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Okay. And that's what we're doing. That's why, that's why we do what we do, so that we can watch, be sober, serious minded, and warn. Okay. 1 Peter 4, verse 7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Okay. Praying that you stay on a straight and narrow path. You stay, with your mind focused, that you stay pressing toward that mark, that you don't end up, being overtaken as a thief, that the Lord keeps you in the light. Okay. That he keeps you in the light, because you end up like that wicked servant that if is coming, and then you begin to be slothful, right? You begin to settle on your lees. And then that's when all hell breaks loose. And now you're not known, you're not one of the wise virgins who kept their lamps trimmed, right? Who kept their oil shining. And now you clueless. Now you have no clue, and you don't even have the protection of YAHAWASHI, on your side, because you did not endure, right? You didn't stay fervent. You didn't stay occupied in business. Occupied, as the Lord said, occupied till I come. So that's why you got to be sober, serious minded, man, and not letting the cares of this world, the drunkenness, right, the surfeiting of this world distract you. See? So let's get this here in 2 Ezra chapter 4, verse 28. it says, but as concerning the things whereof thou ask me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. Okay. The destruction is not yet come. The evil is sown, which is why you see it's nothing but just wickedness, right? Folly, confusion, chaos, all happening, within this world. But the destruction thereof is not yet come. But these are the signs of the destruction coming. And the destruction is the destruction of this age, the destruction of Esau's world, which the destruction of Esau's world must, as it says here, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. You see? So the destruction of this world has to come in order for our world to come. All right? The world of righteousness, the world of Israel, the world of peace. And in order for that to happen, this world, the end of this world has to happen. So this is why we're always hastening the coming of the day of the Lord. Because really, we're the ones that desire peace the most out of everybody in this earth. We the ones that actually desire peace the most, because we are the ones that understand that the only way peace is going to come is if the peace breaker, right, is taken out of the way. Is if this age is uprooted, this world is uprooted and destroyed, right? And then in the new heavens and the new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness is established. All right, you got people that don't want this age to end, right? They complain every damn day about their lives and how unjust and how troublesome it is, but they still do not desire for this age to end. And that's ultimately because they're entangled with this world. All right. That's why the Lord, scripture tells us to be users of this world, but not abusers of it, because the fashions of this world is going to fade away, because it is sown with evil. And because it's sown with evil, it cannot stand. It cannot last. All right. So I think that's it. I had a video, but for time's sake, I don't want to, make this too long. I may come back with another lesson just to touch on a video that I have that I had. But I'm gonna end it there, Lord willing. This was edifying unto the elect. All right, giving all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BaHaShem, YAHAWASHI, BaHaShem, Ruach HaKodesh. And until next time, Shalom.